All right, welcome back to Week 12 results and Week 13 schedule here at Biddy Bats. In the last video, I was mentioning that the Cardinals were playing the Yankees last. Well, they weren't playing the Yankees, but they were facing off against the Yankees in my fantasy league. So, where are we at? Yeah, the Cardinals going up against the Phillies. They won that game 7-0. So I thought, oh yeah, the Cardinals, they got this. Well, then here comes the Yankees going up against Baltimore. And I guess over the course of like 4 games, their series with the Orioles, the Yankees bats were just incredible. I think they had like over 50 hits or 50 runs. And like one game it was like 14-3. The next game it was like 16-3. So in this game, New York beats Baltimore 16-3 for a plus margin of 13 points. St. Louis had a plus margin of 7. So the Yankees win on a tiebreaker, and they move on to next week with a 6-4-2 record, and they will be playing for the division championship in the East against Boston. The Cardinals, however, they're looking good. They're 7-5, and they're going to play the Giants in a wild card play-in game. So let's just jump right into Week 13 and the matchups here. So this is the final week of the season of regular matchups. As mentioned in the previous video, the Angels, they've already clinched their division, the West, and Atlanta has clinched their division. LA clinched with a 7-5 record. Atlanta clinched with a 10-2 record. So those two teams get a week off, and they can prepare for the playoffs. They will. It's the LA has the number 2 seed in that conference, and Atlanta has the number 1 seed. All right. So jumping, then you're going to have 2 wild cards in that conference, which would be the Sharp Curve Conference, and then in the Switchback Conference. The 2 divisions are still up for grabs, the East and the North. So, the North Division, you're going to have the Pittsburgh Pirates playing the Dodgers. Pittsburgh is 7-5, and the Dodgers are 6-6. Whoever wins that game wins the division. If you lose that game, you're probably going to be. You might not even make the playoffs. So. We'll see how the records shake out, but that game is for all the marbles. I think it's like the Dodgers. If they lose, they're done. Pittsburgh might still have a chance since they're 7-5 right now. A 7-6 record if they lost might get them a wild card. So then you also have Boston going up against the Yankees for the East Division. Boston is in the lead right now, 7-4-1. The Yankees are 6-4-2. Those two teams will face off, and we'll see who comes out on top. More than likely, the loser of that game will probably make it into the playoffs as a wild card. But once again, you just never know how that shakes out. The definite wild card play-in games, you have San Francisco playing against St. Louis. Both teams are 7-5. And then you have San Diego facing off against Detroit. San Diego is 6-6, and Detroit is 6-5-1. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know. I'll post on Instagram the like a picture of the contests, who these teams are playing, besides just the fantasy matchups, and what days are going to matter. I'll go over those days real quick. Pittsburgh is playing on Sunday against the Chicago Cubs. The Dodgers have their game on Monday versus the Mets. Boston has their game Monday versus Kansas City. The Yankees will face Oakland on Sunday. And then both teams on Sunday in the wild card game. San Francisco is playing Colorado. St. Louis is playing Baltimore. And then on Monday, San Diego is playing Chicago, and Detroit will be facing up against Seattle. So those are the actual games, and I mentioned the fantasy matchups prior to that. Once all is said and done, you're going to have 8 teams make the playoffs. 2 division winners, 2 wild cards from each conference. 8 will go down to 4. 4 will go down to 2, and we'll see who the World Biddy Championship champion is. So we'll see in about a couple weeks. We'll wrap this thing up. And just a teaser, I got Biddy Battle coming in July and August. You're going to have NASCAR, 12 NASCAR drivers in a points system going up against 12 AVP players, also in a point system. And we'll see who comes out on top of the Biddy Battle at the beginning of September. All right, you guys, have a great day. Enjoy your week.